I'm gonna try to keep this short and simple, but this is a longtime client of mine, and fun fact, she used to be a wax specialist and we used to work together, but we are doing a combo leg wax, so we are using soft wax and hard wax to wax this client. She has some stubborn hairs on her legs and they grow in every direction. You'll see what I'm talking about here shortly. But what I'm using in my hand to apply the soft wax, this is your soft wax cartridge. So it gets heated in a base. The cartridge comes out of the base and put into a protective holder so I don't burn my hands. It does get pretty hot whenever you're holding it for long periods of time, but it's not burning the client. The base that the soft wax cartridge goes in, it stays at a temperature that is comfortable for your client. A huge benefit of using these wax cartridges is that it is fast and you do not use sticks for it. It's just applied straight out of the cartridge. You are not dipping into a soft wax can, using all of your soft wax can and wasting a bunch of sticks. So it's really cost effective for doing leg waxing. Rollers get a little tricky around the knee. The knee goes by really fast, so I'm going to go ahead and start talking about it. Whenever I bend her leg, I don't bend her in like a sitting position. I bend her as if she was laying in a lounge chair, laying out in the sun. But when I apply the wax with my wax cartridge, I make sure to get a full coverage on this knee because it is not a flat surface, so you have to be very careful to get all the hard places. You can also see the position in which I'm laying my wax strip, and this is to make sure the wax comes off evenly. And for the thigh, we just have her legs flat like this. It's really important to pay attention to the direction of the hair growth. When I'm applying my wax strip, I'm applying it in the direction of the hair growth and pulling against. In this video, I am doing something that is called speed waxing. So I'm waxing very quickly. I do want to address that standard teaching for soft wax is to apply the wax in the direction of the hair growth. When placing the strip, the textbook method is to smooth it down in the direction of the hair growth as well. That said, in practice, experienced waxers sometimes use gentle circular or mixed motions when pressing the strip because by that point the wax has already coated and laid the hair flat. The key measure is that you remove the hair effectively with minimal breakage. For teaching, stick with this standard press with the direction of the hair growth. Yes, I was totally just reading off of a script that I wrote for myself because there's no way I would have remembered that. With the inner thigh, you want to make sure you are holding it nice and taut. I am reaching behind the client's thigh. This makes it a little bit easier than me reaching over and not having enough room to hold. So this just ensures that I have a pretty good grip on her thigh. I have repositioned myself to the opposite side of the table, and this is to save my back. I cannot stress this enough. Do not be bending all the way over the table. You need to have your table in a place where you can walk around the whole thing. There is no way you can wax from one side comfortably all day long. When you see me taking that wax strip and patting it on different areas of the leg, all I'm doing is picking up little pieces of wax that I have left behind because nobody wants to go home and find little pieces of wax stuck on them. That is not a way to send your client home. Please get in the habit now of being a clean waxer. You will see me go from side to side multiple times throughout this video. I am just doing what is comfortable for me in the moment. On this side of the inner thigh, you can see a bit of resistance here as I'm using my roller. So this either means my roller is getting a little bit too cool, so I drop it back into the warmer. Another reason this could be happening is if the client has a lack of elasticity in this area, or if their legs aren't super toned. There's really no other way to say it. It is what it is, especially in women who are 35 plus or even like 45 plus. Now, I've seen some older women with great legs. Now, all legs are great legs, but it just is what it is. All bodies are different, and some bodies you just have to alter the way you wax a little bit. Now we are moving on to hard wax. So this is my touch-up strips. You can apply hard wax after soft wax, but you cannot apply soft wax after soft wax. With the touch-up strips, because there are so few hairs, if it didn't work in the direction of hair growth, try to go against the hair growth. Now, some of y'all are questioning this method, but trust me, it works. If the hair is being stubborn and you are doing touch-ups and there are only a few hairs left, you can go in the opposite direction to grab those stubborn hairs. One thing that you cannot see is the speed that I'm pulling these strips off. I'm actually pulling them a little bit slower than my regular strips. When we are doing these touch-up strips with hard wax, it is good to pull them off whenever the strip is still tacky. And I want you to notice how thinly I'm applying these strips. So sometimes these strips don't hold up and they do want to kind of come apart because they're still gooey. If a portion of the wax wants to stick to the skin, it's fine. Just wait a second, take the shiny side of the wax strip, stick it to the piece that doesn't want to come up, and then pull it up. It will work, just trust me. Good positioning for the ankles and the back of the legs is to have your client tiptoe on the table and stretch their ankles. When you're applying your wax, make sure you're bringing that wax all the way down. This ensures that we don't miss any hair on the back of the ankles. If you look closely, you can see the direction that the hair is growing in, and that's why I am pulling the strips off at an angle on the back of the caps. You want to be careful on the back of the knee in this area right here. When you're applying soft wax, make sure you do not go over this area. You can go back later and touch up with hard wax. Be very cautious of the temperature right here, as this skin is very fragile on the back of the knee. If you wax over this crease, you could run the risk of bruising your client. Right here, my client has a bruise, so we're going to be very careful. We're not going to wax over this. We're going to wax around it. A lot of the hairs on the back of the thigh grow inward, so we're just going to follow the direction of the hair growth. We're going to be very careful not to wax over the bruise area. It is not possible in this area to reach under the leg and to hold the skin taut, so we're going to be very careful on this inner thigh area when waxing. We want to make sure we have a good grip on the skin, so when we're applying the wax, we want to give ourselves enough room where we can hold. And here I am applying my hard wax with my big head in the way, but hopefully you could see that. The hair grows in a lot of directions on the back of the thigh, so you want to be cautious of the direction that you're applying the wax. You really want to pay attention to that hair growth. Moving on to touch-up strips on the back of the calf. These strips are so satisfying, probably some of my favorite hard wax strips. Now that we are finished with the leg wax, we are going to apply some vitamin E oil. We are going to make sure all the wax is off and she is not left sticky. We're going to make sure we get all of the wax residue off of her so she can leave feeling super smooth. And these are the results of the leg wax.